Alright, so another problem, if we were asked to solve 3x minus 2y is negative 7, and then 2x plus 5y is 8. When I look at that, and I have the choice between graphing, substitution, or elimination, what goes through my head immediately is elimination. And the reason why I think elimination is because if you look at this, none of them are isolated for a variable. We don't have x equals or y equals. That's what isolating means. And also, every single coefficient, every single variable, has a coefficient. So for x, it has a 3. For y, a negative 2. For x, a 2. For y, a 5. And so what that's going to mean for us is when we're solving by substitution, we're going to have some fractions, which most kids I have met over the years do not like fractions. So let me show you that this is an example where elimination is the best and why you would not use substitution. Okay, so let's do the easy one first. So I would copy these down. And so I need to decide, well, first, are they lined up? X, operation, y, equals, constant. Everything is lined up. Second, I need to decide, do I want to eliminate the x's? So we have decided to try to eliminate the x's. And we recognize that the smallest number that 3x and 2x would go into is 6x. So I'm going to multiply this times 2 to get 6. And if I multiply 3 times 2 to get 6, then I'm going to multiply this by 3, but maybe a negative 3 to make it opposite. So if I multiply that by 2, that just doubles everything. 6x minus 4y is negative 14. And if I multiply this by negative 3, that's negative 6x minus 15y is 8 times negative 3, 8, 16, 24, negative 24. And now you can see that these are opposites. Okay, from there we have opposites, added of inverses, so I add these together. 6x plus negative 6x, you're eliminated. Negative 4 plus negative 15 would be negative 19. Equal. And then negative 14 plus negative 24 would be negative 38. Divide both sides by negative 19. And I get y is 2. From y is 2, we know the value at which they intersect is when y is 2. We need to also find the x value at which they intersect. So I'm going to go back to one of my original equations. And it really doesn't matter on this one. They both look equally complicated. Me personally, I'm going to pick the one with all positive signs because I prefer positive numbers. So I'm going to copy down 2x plus 5y is 8, but I know the value of 2, or I know the value of y. So I'm going to copy 2x plus 5y is 8. But now I'm going to substitute in what I know. I know y is 2. 2x plus 5 times 2 is 8. From there, simple. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract 10 from both sides. Divide both sides by 2. And I get x is -1. So I say my solution is -1, 2. Now another way I could have solved this and it's best if you use a graphing calculator. You can just type it in. I'm using Desmos. Desmos is a very smart program that it solves for y for you. But graphing calculators cannot do that, at least not a TI-83 Plus. But I can look, my solution is -1, 2. See? I already got the answer. So you can copy this graph into your notes if you would like. I'm not going to take the time to do that. Alright, finally on substitution. Substitution is not going to be fun. I might even lose some of you and that you may not understand what I'm doing. So you have to decide, do I isolate for this x, which has a 3, this y that has a 2, this x that has a 2, or a 5, or an 8. Now there's not a real good answer here because all of these are relatively prime. That means that they don't have a factor, so 2 doesn't go into 7 or 3. 3 does not go into 2 or 7. 2 does not go into 5, but it does go into 8. 5 does not go into 2 or 8. So I guess, based off what I just said, I would probably isolate for the x. Which means I'm going to solve for x. So let's see. I would go -5y on both sides. And then I get 2x is 8 minus 5y. And then I would divide everything by 2. And I get x is 4 minus 5/2, which I could write down as a decimal if I want. That's 2.5. And I'm going to change that to a decimal because I know some kids are scared of fractions. Now from there, I'm going to take this and plug it into my other equation for x. And I'm going to borrow some space because I'm going to need it. 3. And I know x is 4 minus 2.5y. And I can make my 4 look better. Minus 2y is -7. Distribute my 3. That's 12. What is that? 7.5 negative. Combine like terms. -7.5 and -2 would be -9.5. Minus 12 from both sides. Now I get -9.5y is -19. Divide by -9.5. And I get two. Which, notice, that's the same that we got before. We got y is 2. And so you can see in this example, elimination is way easier. So for the graph, we use Desmos that you can copy by hand. And then which one was the easiest for this one? elimination.